Here. I'm not sure if I sound like a real boy yet because I'm having technical difficulties trying to give you just I'm just YouTube's trying to hold me back. I'm trying to give you 5 top 20 bets for the Travelers Championship. That's just it. Just 5 bets. But I keep having sound issues, sounding like I'm talking from a submarine, somebody tells me. If you're in the chat, tell me, how do I sound now? Do I sound like a real boy? I don't know. This is ridiculous. Pat's not even on the show, and I'm having technical difficulties. I'm trying to make this a nice, short, tight show because that's what everybody needs. Everybody's got a short attention span. I got to deliver it to you in like -4 seconds, or you leave. But I'm still rambling about my sound issues because I don't know if it's any good. But I'm going to give you 5. Okay, yes. Thank you, Brian. I'm going to give you 5 plus money matchups for the Travelers Championship because I ain't no sucker. Okay. And if you need me to tell you that Rory McIlroy -100 is a good top 20 bet, and you need me to sell you a package, you got to buy my package. I'm going to $400 and I'll send you a text with my bets on it. Then you can spend a billion units to win 4 back. Okay. If you need me to do that for you, then I need to probably tie your shoes. Okay. That's stupid. But I'm going to give you 5 plus money matchups because we ain't we're big boys here at Tour Junkies Enterprises. And I'm going to start with a guy who's been on a roll all year. And I'm old enough to remember when I've done this show 7 years. I'm old enough to remember we got made fun of for picking Keegan Bradley. You pick Keegan Bradley and you're scared to death. Now, Keegan Bradley is not the scariest guy in your lineup by far. Now, I'm going to have way scarier guys in my lineup. Keegan Bradley's been a stud. He's nearly won like 3 golf tournaments this year. Let's open up the book of Fantasy National. I wish I need like one of those. What's the what was the Reading Rainbow where they like open up the pages of the book you dive in or something? I need one of those transitions right now. Somebody that can do video stuff, magic. Help me do that. All right, let me share the Keegan Bradley screen. Where is he? All right, Keegan Bradley. The guy could have won the Players Championship. Okay, could have won the U.S. Open. Could have won the Wells Fargo. I don't remember the Valera. I think I blacked out on that one because I was so pissed. I was really no. I blacked out because that was a week before the Masters, and I just blacked out. But anyway, he's almost won a lot. Okay, he led the field in strokes gained approach last week at the U.S. Open. He's staying up in the Northeast where all his homies, where all his wicked boys are. Cromwell, Connecticut. The guy's just a ball striking stud, and this is going to be. I think it's going to probably be a birdie fest, and Keegan can go low. Here's his record at the Travelers Championship. He's played in it every year for a long time. He's only missed 2 cuts or the last 2 years. Last year, he missed the cut despite gaining, freaking 4.6 strokes ball stroking. Ball stroking. Ball. I've been doing a lot of shows this week and in the last 7 years. I I've said ball striking many, many times. I don't believe I've ever actually said ball stroking on anything within context of Tour Junkies, but that was a good one. Sam should clip that. Despite gaining 4.6 strokes ball striking, he still missed the cut, probably on or near the number. I mean, he had a very vintage Keegan putting week. And then in 2020, you kind of chalk that up. Like that's the COVID year. It was right after the restart. Who gives a crap? Runner up in 2019 at this event, 8th in 2017 at this event, 18th in 2013. He's got some top 20 history here, and he's playing arguably as good as he's ever played in his career. Like this is just a perfect week for Keegan Bradley. You know what? He sucks at putting, but you know what? He's almost even with the field just neutral bad on bent grass. It's his best putting surface. Here it is right here. Um, so I think Keegan is for sure. I think he's for sure a baller. I'll get to your comments here in a second. I appreciate the comments. I will get to them in just a minute. I'm trying to move through these guys. Keegan is plus 125 on BetMGM, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe BetMGM does not have dead heat rules. So you would hit him if he finished like you know, T19 with like 6 dudes. You'd get the full payout. I believe that's true for BetMGM. Not legal in my state, so I can't mess with. I can't fucks with it, as the kids say. But I still think it's a good bet. Plus 125, bet MGM. All right, working a little longer here. I'm gonna give you Brendan Steele. Plus 200 on DraftKings is Brendan Steele. Let's share the screen on him. I'm really digging me some B Steele right now. And I talked about him on the show. So if you watch the podcast, this might be a little redundant for you. Now, opposite of Keegan, his worst putting surface is bent grass. He sucks putting in general, but that's not a problem. But I want you to remember this because I'm going to show you something here in a second. Uh, Gain strokes in easy conditions, which is what I think we're going to have here with really a lot of rain coming in, a lot of soft conditions. I like that I don't think he didn't play in the U.S. Open, right? No, he didn't play in the U.S. Open. So he's, well rested kind of guy, very familiar with this golf course. I think with the rain, you might have some guys who don't get a lot of reps out here, but they've been playing here for a long time. But look at the form Brendan Steele's in right now. Look at his strokes gain off the tee metric. We're going to need that. We need that this week. We need it every week, but it's definitely in play this week. I love how it's trending for B Steele. I love how good the irons are looking right now. And he's managed to keep the really god awful putting weeks at bay, at least for his last 4 or 5 tournaments. I mean, obviously, these are when we see the dark red on Fantasy National, we don't love that. He can overcome some of that with some solid ball striking for sure. But look at the Travelers history on B Steele since 2011. Um, sixth place, 21st, 14th, 17th, 25th, 5th, 13th, tons of top 20s in there, right? So, I mean, if you're betting B Steel the top 20 over the last decade, you've been doing pretty good, I would say. But the ball striking really good, like almost, all of his events when he's in form. But look at the putter. Look at how well he's putted TPC River Highlands here in the strokes game putting category here. 2021, it was terrible. 6 strokes putting, whatever. That's even bad for him. Okay. But, and then a really wild swing the year before in 2020. I don't know what happened coming out of COVID, but he learned how to putt. But just even the fact that he's neutral and like even barely in the green, you're happy with here. So this is obviously a place that B still feels comfortable with. I like him at plus 200 on DraftKings, like I said. And yes, if you are watching, Brian is right. Everyone liked the video. Hit the like button because it said ball stroking. All you sickos out there, hit that and don't stroke your balls on camera. Don't ever do that. I promise you that will not turn out good. All right, the last 3 names I got for you, I'm excited to get to. Before I do that, I do have to show everybody a brief film. This will be very quick. Brief film. Here we go. See, this is what I'm thinking. Can we do night golf?
Absolutely.
Camping out on the range.
Not a problem.
A tequila bar on number 16. Drink stations, multiple places, roving dedicated beverage cart for some signature cocktails. No dress code.
Absolutely.
Hot damn, Steve. I am so excited. It's a pleasure doing business with you. We got no dress code, boys. Woo! Listen up. You got to join us in September. The details are in the link below. You got to join us in Pennsylvania at Mountain Valley. No dress code. We're going to have all kind of wild stuff going down. DraftKings points scoring for the Saturday Scramble. You don't have to bring a full team. If you just want to come by yourself or a buddy or 2 or 3 or whatever, we'll make sure you get to play with who you want to. And if you need people, we'll pair you up. It's not an issue. The first ever live golf event is going to be electricity. So check out the link below. There's still spots. It is in late September. It's in a legal gambling state, and we're going to have a good dadgum time. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you right now. All right, next guy on the board. I got a couple of them here at the in the +3. No, I don't. All right, +330 on DraftKings. Joel Dahmen, or as my girl Nita says, Joel Dahmen, like he's Joel Embiid. Let's take a look at Joel Dahmen here on Fantasy National. Obviously, we saw Joel play really well at the U.S. Open on his way to a 10th place finish. Really could have contended there on the weekend, but I think he chose not to. That's probably what he did. Really accurate driver of the ball, not super long, but plenty long enough for this place. When you think about guys like Kevin Streelman, Shez Reavie, guys who've won here before, you think Joel Dahmen. Like, this just sounds like a name to be in there. But he's more swaggy. I mean, he's a little more alpha than those guys, but he's, I like it. I definitely like it. Not terrible on bent grass. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, David, this is POA. Well, it may be classified as POA, but every caddy we've talked to over the last 7 years has always said this place putts way more like bent than it does POA. So pump your brakes. Does well in easy conditions, gain strokes there. Let me look at what he did. Let me pull up another resource here. Let's see what he did at the U.S. Open. So U.S. Open tee to green gained plus 2.64 strokes. Tee to green gained off the tee, gained 2 on approach. That's That's good for fourth in the field on approach play. So the irons were clicking for Joel Dahmen. Love to see that. Um, let's take a look at he's played the Travelers 4 times. He's made 3 or 4 cuts with his best finish last or in 2020 where he finished 20th. So improving as he plays TPC River Highlands. We saw him play another short course pretty well earlier in the year, the RBC Heritage, where he finished 12th, 6th place at Pebble Beach. Like this is one of those places, a lot like I'm sure Kevin Strillman, those guys circle on the calendar. Like Joel is going to go like, hey, I got a good chance there. Like this is not a place where I'm out of it. So I like Joel plus 330 to me. I said it on the podcast. I like him more to top 20 than I do to win. So I like that value. And then two names, the final names, both at plus 340. The first one is KH Lee. I've kind of come around on KH Lee. We all, we kind of feel like he has a prowess to do well on some of these Pete Dye designs, which this is a Pete Dye design. So that's good. TPC KH Lee has been another name that's been tossed around. Better on bent grass than any other surfaces, and played well at the U.S. Open. Let's see what he did. Let me check. Let me check that source. KH Lee for the event gained almost a full stroke off the tee, which is good for seventh in the field. It didn't do great with his irons, but that's okay. I love that the off the tee play was rocking and rolling for KH. Where am I? Where's okay? Here we go. Obviously, just won the Byron Nelson a couple of weeks ago. Travelers, he's played here 3 times. Not done great the last 2. He finished 13th his first time out. Like I said, I kind of throw out the 2020 year. Last year finished 73rd, but whatever. I feel like KH Lee's kind of coming into his own a little bit here. I don't love this number for him as much as I do my last guy, plus 340. These guys are both at 340. But I mean, I think we could kind of ride the trend. I mean, look at, the iron play here. The off the tee play is getting better. Let's take a look at his accuracy. Yeah, so I mean, he's kind of, he got some green in both categories here of late, which is decent. So he can be kind of a total driver of the golf ball long term when we look at it. A decent total driver of the golf ball. He's not super long, but he's long enough in a lot of ways. Plenty long for this place. So KH Lee plus 340 on points bet is your best number. And finally, another guy at plus 340 on points bet that I really, really like a lot is Brendan Todd. I like the Brendans. I like the Steeles and I like the Brendan Todds. I like them both this week. It is the most I've liked Brendan Todd in a very long time. Like Joel Dahmen, probably a guy that circles a place like this and says, I got to play here. I got to work my schedule around this thing because, it's my best chance to really contend and win on a short course like this. Obviously, he's a tremendous putter, really good on bent grass, really good on easy golf courses. I think we're going to see that this week with the soft conditions, as I said. And, he's been playing well. Third at the Charles Schwab, 13th at the RBC Canadian, eighth at Valero. He did not play in the U.S. Open. Well rested, I'm sure. Travelers made 3 of 5 cuts, but when he's made the cuts, he's got a 15th and 11th and a 30th. So 2 top 20s there for B Todd. Seemingly hits the irons really well here. Putts pretty good here. I think B Todd, the Georgia Bulldog, at plus 340 on points bet is well worth a look as well. All right, before I get out of here, I got to answer what a couple of these people have been bugging me about questions. I need to know Vegas or Hoagie and DFS. This is not a DFS show, Brian. Hit me up in the Nut Hut, man. Hit me up in the Nut Hut. Okay, or just do this. Comment on this video because the comment will help. Comment on the video and I'll respond there. All right. I think we're done here. I think my job here is done after 3 times trying to get this video right and saying ball stroking. I should probably stop doing content for the week. So give me a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Please comment and share the video. Share the Tour Junkies YouTube channel with a friend. That's the best thing you can do. Spread the TJ gospel. Okay? Do it. Please, I'm putting in a lot of work here. I got 3 kids to feed. This is my full-time job now. I will occasionally pull that out and use that card, and I just did it. So please do that. Thank you. Let's have a week. Bend over your bookie, and may your screens be green. See ya.